Right now, if you got dropped in the middle of a forest with no phone, no map, and no compass, you'd probably be lost within the hour. And yet, somewhere between 50,000 and 60,000 years ago, groups of humans crossed open ocean, walked across entire continents, and eventually reached almost every corner of the planet without a single one of those tools. So how did they actually do it? The answer isn't luck. It's a navigation system built entirely out of paying attention, and it's honestly more sophisticated than most people assume. Before anything else, ancient humans read the sky, not casually, with real precision. The position of the sun at different times of day gave a rough sense of direction, but stars were even more reliable, especially for travel at night or across featureless terrain like open plains or ocean. Certain stars stay fixed relative to the horizon depending on where you are on Earth, and cultures across the world independently figured out how to use them. Polynesian navigators, for instance, memorized the exact points on the horizon where specific stars rose and set, effectively building a mental compass out of the night sky that could hold steady across thousands of kilometers of open ocean. On land, ancient humans relied heavily on landmark memory, a skill that modern life has mostly let atrophy. Distinctive rock formations, unusual trees, river bends, and mountain silhouettes all became fixed points in a mental map built through repeated travel and oral tradition. This wasn't just personal memory either. Knowledge of specific routes, water sources, and dangerous terrain was passed down verbally across generations, sometimes encoded into songs or stories, specifically because rhythm and narrative make information easier to remember accurately over long stretches of time. For ocean-crossing cultures in particular, wind patterns became a navigational tool in their own right. Prevailing wind directions tend to be consistent across seasons in many regions, and experienced navigators could hold a course using nothing but the feel of wind on their skin and the angle it hit the sail. Even more remarkable, some Polynesian navigators learned to read ocean swell patterns, the way waves bend and interact around distant islands long before land is visible. By lying down in a canoe and feeling the rhythm of the swell beneath the hull, a trained navigator could detect the presence of land many kilometers away, essentially sensing geography through touch. Ancient humans also paid close attention to animal behavior as an indirect navigational aid. Certain birds reliably fly toward land at dusk to roost, and sailors observing this pattern could adjust their course accordingly. Migratory animal movements more broadly gave clues about seasonal changes in terrain, water availability, and direction, since many species evolved their own extremely reliable internal navigation systems that humans learned to piggyback on. This part surprises people the most. Some navigation relied on senses we barely think of as directional at all. Changes in air temperature and humidity could signal proximity to large bodies of water or shifts in elevation. In certain documented indigenous navigation traditions, subtle differences in smell carried by the wind, salt air, vegetation, distant smoke helped travelers orient themselves even without any visual landmarks in sight. As human settlement patterns became more established, physical markers entered the picture too. Cairns, stacked stones, deliberately placed as trail markers, appear in archaeological records across multiple continents, some dating back thousands of years. These weren't maps in the modern sense, but they served a similar function, converting a route into something durable enough to survive beyond a single person's memory. The common thread across all of this is that ancient navigation wasn't one clever trick. It was a dense, layered system combining astronomy, memory, environmental pattern recognition, and multisensory awareness, refined and passed down over countless generations. Losing any single piece of that system, say a cloudy sky blocking the stars, wasn't necessarily catastrophic because the other layers could usually compensate. Modern navigation technology didn't just replace a human skill set that once let people cross oceans by feel and walk across continents guided by nothing but stars, wind, and attention. The tools disappeared. The achievement, when you actually sit with it, hasn't gotten any less remarkable.